hear you.
Okay, great, great stuff. Let me just make sure she joins this. IJ, are you on this call now?
I'm here.
Oh, fantastic. Okay, good. Okay, so she's going to take the question that she's going to respond to the question you asked, ma. So you're welcome, IJ. This lady is a big grain farmer, very big one. So your beans and some grains, from the north. She has a huge farm in the north there. She lives in Abuja. So IJ, you're welcome. She's on DP's Agric team, and she has a lot of knowledge, on both conventional and a bit on organic farming, and sets up home gardens for people. That's part of what she does. Okay. Pastor IJ, she wants to know, yeah, IJ, her name is also IJ, by the way. So
Yeah.
IJ, she wants to know, yeah, where she can plant
So
her
let's go on here. This should be faster because WhatsApp is going to slow us down. So we can take
Okay.
the questions there. So I've dropped mine. So if you have any question, please just put your hands up, so that we can make you orderly.
Okay. Thank you so much, Madam Uche, and thank you, Pastor IJ, for this beautiful opportunity. And the presentation was awesome. Thank you for sharing. So, with regards to your question, for your home gardening containers or makeshift boxes, you can actually make them yourself. But if you don't have the time or you feel you need someone that understands how to beautifully design your home, then you may need to consult someone around you. But I'll advise you use things that are already around you. Like she mentioned the grow bags. I have grow bags in front of my house. Yes, I do conventional farming out there, but for my vegetables, I'm really concerned about how farmers handle vegetables out there. So I grow my vegetables right in front of my house. So I use grow bags basically, and I also use old bathtubs, so you can get those bathtubs from here in Abuja. We call them pantakers. What I mean pantakers, or why we call them pantakers, they're actually guys that pick up used items from homes and resell them. So you can get the bathtubs from them, then drill holes to the sides and underneath the tubs just to allow excess water drain out so your roots don't rot. So you can get all of those containers. She talked about the tires, the old tires. You can actually get those ones if you have bigger spaces, and maybe paint them so they look beautiful. Some of us have flower pots and what do you call those flower spots we hedge around our homes, and we have aesthetic flowers. Yes, they are good, but like I advised my mom, she pulled all of those out and planted all her veggies there. Everything you can find or she needs in the home, she plants there. And for years, she had not bought, she didn't have to go buy vegetables out there. And I noticed her health improved. So if you have um, flowers growing around your house that they are beautiful, but they don't really add so much to you. You can plant your veggies there. They also bring in oxygen for you. Then talking about your seedling trees, where do you drop them? Where do you keep them? Some of us may not really be in control of how many hours we expose our seedlings to the sunlight. Then you can keep them on your veranda or inside your home where it's airy and there's a bit of sunlight coming in. So you notice the sunlight casts from time to time, maybe between 10 and 12, you get a bit of sunlight on that part of the house. You can keep it there. And maybe after 12, the sunlight changes direction. You can keep your seedling trees there and make sure your children or if you have pets around the house, they don't mess with your seedling trees. I think if you have such spots, then it's very perfect for your seedlings. So I think that's the most I can say with regards to that. Then please, for your compost, do not put anything that has oil in them, like your fish head, um, anything from animal, don't drop it in your compost. Milk, apart from your eggshells, anything that contains oil, please don't put it in your compost. Oil reduces the rate of decomposition of your compost in your compost tray. So you don't need oil in them. I think that's the most I can add. Thank you so much. Thank you.
Wow. Thank you so very much. Thank you. Thank you so much.
Okay, so while we're waiting for others to ask questions, I still have questions, okay? So you find out that here in Lagos, a lot of us are living in enclosed spaces, so we don't have enough land space, but I made up my mind this I was going to plant. So I started with cement bags, okay, because I rushed it, but I know you're supposed to wash it, and all that. So I want to know whether it's safe to use cement bags or we should just forget it and go for some of those other plantings containers. That's one. Then two, because we're not planting on a natural ground, my concern is do we just like she was talking about manure, I know you prepare your soil before planting. So the manure and all that you are putting at the beginning of the planting season, is it enough to take care of the plants throughout the planting season? I have a project we are doing somewhere else. It's not mine, but it's for clients. We're doing bell peppers now. So that one they said lasts for 3 months. So imagine I'm doing bell pepper in my house. Can I still be adding? So there are special kind of maybe liquid manure I'll be adding that I should get, or so how do I control the contents of the soil if I'm planting in a bag? Thank you.
Okay, thank you for that question, Matt. So with regards to the first question, people that have limited spaces around their compounds, yes, we have urban dwellers where maybe you're living upstairs and your veranda is all you have to yourself. You don't have to encroach on your neighbor's land downstairs, or probably it's interlocked. You can use those cement bags. Yes, I know some of us fail to wash the bags. Cement contains some chemicals which may get into our soil, but except it's heavily, it contains cement. But if it's just cement on the sides, it may not really affect that much because it also contains calcium. Limestone. Yes, limestone also, yes, contains calcium. So it can help your soil, provide a bit of that, but the little chemical involved would get into your soil. But don't be afraid, it's not a lot. But for, for our home gardening sake, just try to wash your cement bags when you get them. Then drill holes or use your knife to just cut holes on the sides just to allow a bit of water pass through. Then with regards to how do you control your soil nutrients and while you're planting, since you're not planting on natural ground and all, yes, we have the foliage spray. Like she mentioned earlier, we have organic spray you can use. These ones go directly on the leaves. It's like giving someone drip when they are sick. The drip helps to resuscitate quickly, instead of taking tablets. That's the same thing with the foliar spray. It goes directly on the leaves and the plant absorbs it directly. If it goes through the root, it takes a bit of time to get to the leaves. But for the foliar spray, it goes on the leaves and they absorb it quickly. So yes, for your veggies and all of that, since you're planting in sacks and makeshift containers, you can actually involve foliar spray. So it helps to keep your plants, green and growing for the longest. If you have access to manure, like she mentioned, the dry manure that does not smell, I have some around me directly from an organic farm. They have the local chicken, so they just help me gather them together, put them in a sack and bring it to me. So if you have access to that, you can actually apply from time to time in your soil. Then after a particular season, or you're done harvesting and you've uprooted that particular plant, you can pour out your soil mixed all over again with, your compost or your manure, whatever it is, and rebag them. Soil does not die. It doesn't look like when you're done with this season, you need to go throw the soil away. No, you can actually use it over and over, but you just have to rejuvenate it using those compost and manure just over time. Allow it for a while, then you can replant. But yes, you can use your soil over and over and your plant will do well. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you so much, IJ. I wanted to add that you can also buy loamy soil if you don't have soil and you're doing container gardening, or even your backyard, the soil, maybe you have sandy soil there only and all that. You can buy that loamy soil. Those people that sell flower pots and plant flowers, some of them have soil that they sell. Like along Monastery Road here, there's a guy I buy soil from, so you might want to also buy your soil from them if you don't trust that the soil in your backyard is good enough, because some of them will contain a lot of pebbles sometimes and stuff. So that loamy soil, that one, that top, some people sell it. People sell it. Yeah.
Yes,
Okay.
and to add to that, beyond getting the loamy soil, there are companies that sell potting mix. We call them potting mix, or, there are some of them are not necessarily soil. Some of them are from coconut backs. Those ones, they are actually, they call them alternatives to soil. You can get potting mix. I think we have a lot of companies in Lagos that sell all of that. So while you buy those ones are already in themselves ready for you to use. So you're not second guessing if they are good or not. You can actually get those ones. And the moment you plant on them, your plants will do so, so well. So maybe from time to time you use your foliar spray. So thank you for that. Yeah, those guys, horticulturists around sell soil, or you can get your potting mix from one of the companies there in Lagos.
Thank you.
Okay, so Chineye's hand is up. She has a question. Chineye can take the floor.
All right, thank you, ma. Good morning, everyone. Thank you, Sister Uche and Madam Ichoma. Okay, so Sister Uche, when you were making your presentation, you talked about watering a garden, watering the plant, and you said water based on the need of the plant. So how do I know the frequency of watering, especially in dry season, whether dry or wet season? If I have it in my balcony, I'll have to be watering it. So how do I know if it's once or twice? How can I tell the need of the plant? Thank you.
Okay, thank you so much. IJ, do you have any response for this? I know that herbs usually don't need as much water as plants that are like tomatoes, pepper, that are heavy feeders. But in terms of the frequency, I guess we can check the web or maybe ask experts like IJ. IJ, do you have any response for that?
Okay, yes, thank you, Ma. With regards to that, I advise people to always use the web and study. Now, like you mentioned, the herbs take a little water compared to, our veggies, and you have proper plants. For me, beyond the veggies, I have even fruit trees growing in bags. I have my pomegranate, it's fruiting already, and it takes in more water than my regular veggies. I have tomatoes here, peppers, I have bok choy, ugu, I have green, all of that. So they have water needs different. Their need for water is different. So I don't water them directly because I'm kind of busy. So my security does the watering, and I tell him exactly when to water and when. Okay, I also have yam. Yeah, it's trying to sprout. So I tell him when to water and when not to water, and I prefer early in the mornings. Now, some people water in the evenings, nice, but I'm in the northern states, you see, and it gets really, really hot in the daytime. I think we start having heat waves in some states in the north. So I tell him, you don't water in the evening because by that time the soil is hot. I don't know how it is in Lagos, but you can feel your soil. You know when it's really hot. So in the evening, when the sun is setting, your soil is still hot. You pour in water, the water gets hot, and your roots cannot take them, especially for very delicate roots like your herbs and your veggies. They may not be able to take them, so they can't absorb the water at that time. So I tell him, wait in the morning before the sun is up, very early in the morning, my soil is already cool, then we apply the water, and we apply differently. Some of the days we don't apply water for some of the herbs, especially when I notice that, like she mentioned, mulching, some of my veggies have, dry grasses on covering the soil. So it doesn't lose water quickly in the daytime. So when I notice it still has a bit of water, I allow it for the day, and the next day I water them. So if you're an enthusiast, you want to go check your garden from time to time and, feel the needs for these things. I don't know, but let me not talk about somehow when you are interacting with your plants and animals, you tend to feel their needs from time to time. It happens when you get used to them. But beyond that, like for my mom, I'm not always there telling her what to do. So I advise her to always go on the YouTube. I think she's more of an expert than I am right now because she tells most of the things I know right now. So the more you get involved, I'm not talking about those comic guys that post very funny things, trying to get traction on their Facebook page, telling you how to use toothpaste to plant. No, please don't follow those guys. Toothpaste to plant pawpaw, and then pawpaw grows in 2 days, and you have your no. I'm talking about real gardening guys on YouTube. You can follow them. So because different garden plants have different needs. The more you follow them, you look at them. It's like studying for a particular course. You get to learn. So it's something you really need to put an interest into, and then you learn how to water your gardens. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Angie.
Somebody asked a question in the group, where do I buy the spray?
Okay, then.
Yeah, go on,
Okay.
Angie.
Beyond, there are shops around. I don't know how it is in Lagos, but there are shops around that sell organic home gardening tools and the spray, like the neem oil spray Madam Uche mentioned. Emanuela, I think she's already in the group. She sells that, that you can use to prevent pests and all. Then for the foliar spray, there are home gardening shops around. I'm sure if you go on the web or you ask on Instagram, you may be able to reach out or get them around you. But if someone else in Lagos knows where they can, lay their hands on that, I think they can be able to help with it.
Yeah, there's a guy on our web, on our group, a guy in Grow Organic Africa, Black Earth. I asked him for some of his products with the price list, and yeah, he sells some of these things. The black soil, honest compost. He has one called Pro Life Plant Energizer. I think he calls it the foliar spray. Yeah, and then potting, he also has the potting mix. So he has a couple of products that are organic that he sells. So I think one of them is that spray. He said that our Pro Life spray is a blend of 6 natural pesticides. The foliar spray, yeah. So that's it. Yeah. So yeah, there are places where they are sold, and I can forward the link for his shop to you, Pastor Eva, or anyone that needs it. I'm gonna post it on the platform for those who want to order directly from him.
Okay, so I'm not sure there is any other questions. I have plenty of questions, so if you allow me, I'll keep asking. So let me just ask one more before we call it, we'll wrap it up. When is it late to transplant? Okay, so of course I bought a basket of tomato, carried all the spoiled tomato and poured into some cement bags, and now they've grown. And there are plenty, and I'm wondering, are they all going to die because the bag is too small? Because, okay, they've grown to let me say, the height of a ruler, that's 12 inches. So can I transplant it now, or is it late? Okay, so then two, are there spacing rules? Like you said, I'm going to go to the internet and search it, but I'm just asking, if that can be answered here so that I can take immediate actions. Thank you.
Okay, thank you so much for that question. So for the tomatoes, when you pour in your seeds and they all sprout like that, if you don't have extra bags to transplant them to, then you may need to pull them out and give them a bit of space. For what was the other question? Okay, the height. How high would they have to grow for you to transplant? Like that one that is already as high as your ruler, it's kind of late to transplant them. If you move them, they may not
Okay.
survive. They may,
Wow.
but the chance is really high that they may not survive. It's
Okay.
best to transplant them when they are like 3 inches to 5.
Okay.
Even when they are a bit below 3 inches, you can actually transplant them. I've had to transplant some of them at that, but as high as a ruler is kind of late. You are really careful with them, especially their roots, because their roots are already,
They're tangled already.
their roots are already, they're accustomed to that soil and they've established themselves. So the moment you move it from that soil and you're moving it to another soil with different texture, different composition, they begin to have root shock.
Wow.
Except you are scooping the plants with enough soil from the other location,
Okay.
and then you have a bigger hole in the other location, and then you drop it in. So before they tend to take a little time before getting used to their neighboring, the environment, the new environment. But when you just pull the plant like that and put it in the next environment, most of them get root shock. So it may not really survive. You see,
Okay.
so that's why you notice most people move plants with the soil.
Mm,
In,
okay.
yeah,
Wow.
so just to prevent the root shock. So the spacing for home gardening, I wouldn't ask you to do the spacing we use for conventional because you don't have all that space.
Okay.
But at least give it enough space to allow it to grow. So for me, in my home gardening, I have barely half a ruler between
Mm,
each. Some of them a ruler distance because me, I want all the tomatoes I can get around me. So and they are doing so well. So just don't give them too much space that you may not have enough space to plant, and at the same time, don't make it too compact. So just have a ruler or a ruler space can do for the space between each plant. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you. So we'll be rounding up now. Chineke, can you give our facilitators a vote of thanks so that you can shut down for the day and go on to other businesses? Thank you. Thank you everyone for showing up. Chineke.
Please, is this training recorded? Please.
Yes, it's recorded. We share the link. Yes, please.
Oh,
Thank you. Okay, so Chineke, vote of thanks.
Okay.
Yeah.
I am here. Thank you so much, Sister Uche, for sharing your experience with us. All that you have learned, you just sharing with us for free. Thank you. Thank you to Madam Ichoma for joining in. And also sharing your experiences, for guiding us, giving us direction as to where to get these items, how to prepare it, and all that. Thank you, Pastor IJ, for this platform that you have created for us, for being interested in our growth. At this time where we are really not sure about what we get in the market, the best thing is for us to do organic. And I know I can feel the heartbeat of everyone who logged in this morning. They are interested, and that's why they woke up as early as 6 a.m. to log in. So I know we are all interested in this. We need it. We are not just going to hear it, but we are going to do something about it. We're going to go out there. It's, for me, the cheapest form of farming. It is cheap for us to grow our farms and eat from our farm produce instead of buying chemicals and poisons from the market. So I want to appreciate you. Thank you so much for investing in us. God bless you all. Thank you.
Thank you, everyone. Have a wonderful weekend. We're looking forward to the next session. Chinaya, so please just get ready. Thank you, everyone. Thank you.